Hey guys, I just got a real quick forward for any subscribers and fans of the podcast that usually come here to listen to it. So, what I'm planning on doing is, since JJ and I can't always coordinate our schedules in a way that would allow us to upload our podcast every single day, what I was thinking I could do is these smaller topics, these topics that, yes, you know, they're cool to hear about, they're cool to discuss, they're cool to, I guess, just soak in. They can slowly start losing potency over time. So what I was thinking is, we have the main show that will always cover topics that are really just kind of broadband. You just want to hear the people you want to hear talk about the topic, versus topics that are just timely, the ones that by the end of the day, who really gives a shit, you know? And I noticed that was an issue we had with the podcast. I have no idea if anyone else had issue with it, but I did. I felt like there were certain topics that you needed to have talked about day of, otherwise it's kind of old news. So I figured this would be a cool way to give you more content, more, timely content where we can be a reliable news source versus kind of just a fun thing that you can listen to while you're gaming, while you're doing whatever. But we've already spent long enough talking about this, so let's just go ahead and get right on into the topic. So on the official Overwatch Twitter account, a fan had asked about the possibility of cross-platform play, to which the official Overwatch account responded with, "There is no cross-platform play. We'll keep an eye on cross-platform possibilities on the consoles." First of all, thanks Blizzard. Had no idea that there was no cross-platform play. I absolutely didn't realize. Thank you for pointing it out. Secondly, I think this makes a whole lot of sense. I know a lot of people were kind of hankering to have, cross-platform play between PC and consoles. Now, my reservation doesn't come from the same reservation I think a lot of console players have, which is that PC users are a bunch of dirty fucking cheaters. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think Blizzard games have always been historically really good at making sure there are no cheaters, there are no hackers. And when they're identified, they're immediately ousted from the game experience and their ecosystem entirely. My reservation primarily comes in the form of, I guess, concern at the balancing of the actual game experience. When you're playing on console, your reticle, your ability to aim, is generally swayed by an aim assist. It kind of helps you kind of hit the targets a little bit better, because when you're using solely your thumb, unless you're MLG, you're going to have a little bit of a hard time 100% nailing your shots. So what games will do is they'll implement an aim assist feature, so that way it can kind of help you out with making some of those shots and make the play experience less about, oh, you didn't hit the fucking guy perfectly, and more about, okay, we know that it isn't the best way to aim, anything, any kind of three-dimensional anything. So we're going to give a little bit of slack and we're going to make it a little easier. Now, PC users don't have any kind of aim assist. And I know a lot of people will say, okay, well, if they don't have aim assist, then, why is it not fair to have people with aim assist, that are using a less accurate form of control to people who do have, more accurate controls, but without aim assist? The thing is that if you have a keyboard and mouse and you're even remotely competent with it, you will out-aim every single console player, every single gamepad user in a heartbeat. That isn't a fanboy statement, that isn't bullshit, it's just the reality of it. Keyboard and mouse, it's more bulky. You can't throw yourself on a couch traditionally. I mean, I know, companies like Corsair and Razer are trying to put out these lap pads where you can put a keyboard and mouse for your couch use. But when it comes to just apples to apples comparison, yes, keyboard and mouse is less bulky, but it is a better way of aiming and it is a better way of getting your shots in. Are you not good at keyboard and mouse? That's fine, but if you use keyboard and mouse long enough, the same way if you use controllers long enough, you will adapt to it. You will get good at it, and you will realize, holy shit, I can nail my shots much, much easier. But at the same turn of the token, so can everyone else. So that's why it's balanced that way. Now, Overwatch doing cross-platform play in the sense of it being on consoles, that makes perfect sense. Honestly, I was kind of surprised that that wasn't a feature they had right out of the box. It just it's like the kind of thing you would just have day one. But the fact that they are looking at the possibility of it is a good sign, because I don't see much holding the 360, the Xbox One players from the PS4 players. I honestly think uniting the community is the absolute best way to go. Since there is no handicap, there is no, oh, this side is going to have an unnecessary benefit to this side. And I think with all this talk of, you know, Sony and Microsoft possibly merging their ecosystems so that way gamers can play together, I don't see anything wrong with it. Honestly, I hope that Sony will take the initiative and think, okay, well, this is for the gamers. Gamers want it. It's good for everyone. At the same time, they could just, you know, brick wall it up, and I mean, we're just going to have to see. But honestly, I do think it would be a really great idea if we could get the console players playing together. I mean, in all honesty, all it can do is promote longevity of the actual game experience. And I mean, you've all played those games where you go back to the classics, you check out, you know, maybe you pop in an old copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and you notice, holy shit, the community isn't here anymore. You know, the millions of people that used to go on every day, it's been diminished to maybe a few hundred to 1,000 maybe. So when we do reach that point when, you know, the game is kind of like past its due, maybe there's an Overwatch 2, I mean, or maybe it's just kind of pushed back and Blizzard's doing something else. It's good to have the ability to go, hey, those same people that had that same thought, let's go back and play some Overwatch. Those exact same people are going to be able to go back and play with the PS4 guys while they're on their Xbox One, which means that that small community gets doubled instantly. I don't see the downside in this, and honestly, hopefully Blizzard definitely takes a look at this, because that would be fucking awesome. Hey, if you liked what you heard today, make sure you subscribe, like this video, comment down below. Let's hear your opinions. What do you think about the whole controller versus keyboard and mouse thing? Do you think it's a whole lot of hot air? Be sure to comment and let us know. Alright guys, well, I'll see you the next time we interact.